Hey everyone, Garrett here, back again with another episode of This Week at Naked Famous Denim. I know I will apologize. It's a little bit late. I got stranded down in New York City because of the snowstorm. But hey, better late than never. We got a fun episode lined up for you. As always, I thought a cool theme would be to talk about 5 things that I wish I knew, some styling tips when I was in my early 20s. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But as always, we're going to do the fit checks. Before I do mine, don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Okay, starting from the top, I have my Dean Navy watch cap. We still have a few of these in stock. I have on my white circular knit tee. This is a vintage MA1 bomber jacket from Dobbs Company, I believe. This is the black thick belt I have on my left-hand twill Strong Guys. I was wearing those for the weekend, and I don't know, I'm enjoying them again. So the Fat Fox are on pause for a little bit. I have in my pocket my black shell cordovan card case, and of course my trusty dusty Benchmade 940. And then on feet today we have something a little different. You may have saw on the Instagram. We talked about this. This was a little special collaboration video that we made with Goral, and we sent them some 32-ounce black fabric, and they turned it into a pair of shoes. Pretty snazzy, huh? Anyways, so if you're interested in more information about these shoes, we'll do an unboxing, Terry and I, on Thursday on the live stream. That's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time right here on the YouTube channel. Tune in live. We'd love to see you, and you can ask questions about the Goral shoes if you wish. All right, Terry, what are you wearing today?
We're going to jump in there. Thank you very much, Garrett. He did his best snake pillskin impersonation. Had to do his escape from New York. But he managed to get out of here, so I got to have him back there. And I want to say I'm pretty jealous of those shoes. Everybody knows I already have a pair of Gorals. But I really like the look of those ones. Anyway, what do I have on today there? I got the warehouse work over here. I got the long-suffering Thursdays over here, work shoes. And it sure shows, but they're keeping my feet safe, so I can't complain. On the legs, I have the no longer secret Godzilla Hedorah jeans over here. I've been wearing them for 2 weeks, solid here in the warehouse. They got
Nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed.
Multiple fit checks.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't super subtle about it there, and I got cut off once, but they're pretty cool. They're comfy. They're unsandfries. I miss my unsandfries jeans, and I really have shrunk these to fit my body perfectly. Slubby and heavy, but not too heavy. A little bit of character and that little bit of Godzilla cherry on the top. Of course, t-shirt. I got the old circular knit here, had the blue, and my work shirt and the kind of the triple yarn twist red here. Kind of a digging in there. Kind of still enjoying my my work shirt over here. Very much fun. So yeah. That's the fit for today. As for a warehouse update, we have a little bit of a breather over here. You may notice fine, we're looking a little bit cleaner. That's right, we can catch our breath for a second as we prepare for the big spring onslaught of orders. This week's release, of course, is the just mentioned Hedorah. We do not have a lot of it. We have very, very, very little Hedorah there. So if you want those jeans, be there at 11 a.m. on the website. Be there actually at maybe 10:55 and press F5 and refresh because extremely limited.
Be there earlier so you can check the size charts because they're going to shrink.
Yes.
They're unsandfrized.
Yeah, so they are, of course, they will shrink. We have all of the measurements there, the post-shrink estimates, of course. And then, yes, do be ready. We have very, very few of them, but they're extremely special.
Like cow hair on it already.
Yeah, we just put it on the old Bessie over there. Yours will not come with any cow hair, we'll ensure that. So yeah, that's about it from the warehouse over here. Yeah, more exciting spring-summer news in the future, but for now, that's all from up here in the warehouse at Naked Famous Denim. I'll hand it back to Garrett, and he can talk about his life-changing and life-affirming tips.
Yes, now to the showroom. All right, guys, so I thought it'd be useful, definitely for some of the people watching out there, especially you younger guys, if I went through 5 things that I wish I knew when I was in my early 20s. And now that I know them, looking back, it's a little bit embarrassing. But once you master these 5 things, you're going to have a lot easier time putting together your outfits, and you're going to look a lot better. starting with, I think, one of the most important things, and that is proportions. So proportions are basically, how big your legs look relative to your body. And this is one thing I notice a lot of people these days get wrong. I'd say the average guy is not doing this correctly. So obviously you want to try to make your legs look longer. This is going to make you look taller and just have your proportions be more aesthetic. So look for pants that have a little bit higher rise. Another thing you can do right now without buying anything is just simply pull up your pants. A lot of people kind of sag their pants, or they wear it low on their hips, and it creates the illusion of making your legs look shorter and your body look long. It just looks bad. So number one, don't sag your pants. Don't show your underwear. Don't be one of those silly guys. And also, if your pants are a little bit loose, then just simply put on a belt. It's going to make a big difference. Now, you may be pulling up your pants, putting on your belt. You have a right size of pants, good high rise, but also don't forget, avoid wearing long shirts. So if you have like a really long t-shirt or just long shirts in general, it's going to give that same illusion of making your torso look longer and your legs look shorter. So one way you can deal with this is you can actually just tuck in your shirt. That's probably going to be the easiest thing. It's going to make you look a little bit more mature, more refined. You get to show off your cool belt. You get to see more of your jeans and your fades, which I think is cool. So tuck in your shirt. It's free, and you don't have to do any alterations to your shirts. Now, if you're someone who you're like me, maybe you don't want to tuck in your shirt all the time. You like to have it kind of flowing for more air and all that. That's great. Then what you can do is take any shirts that you have that are too long and take them to the tailor, have them hemmed, have them shortened. Have your garments basically match your proportion. So either, hem your shirts, hem your sleeves, or shorten your sleeves, and hem your pants. You also want to make sure that your pants are of the right length. All right, number 2, silhouettes. So this is something that is hard because, if you're just shopping generally and you're following current trends, you may be pulled to go for certain silhouettes, but depending on the times. And, I was definitely a sucker for this in the 2010s with, tapered fits, like highly tapered fits, skinny fits, that kind of thing. And I would say try to avoid these trends and go for classic silhouettes, classic cuts that are going to be more timeless. You're going to be able to wear your jeans, 5 years, 10 years, anytime in the future, because they're going to look classic. So look for jeans or pants that have a normal to higher rise. I'd say avoid low rise 100%. Avoid also like extreme fits, like the skinny fits or the extreme taper fits. Or I'd also say avoid any like extremely baggy fits, because I know they're hot right now, but soon they won't be, and it'll look kind of funny. So my top recommendations in terms of fits for Naked Famous Denim would be the True Guy, number 1. I think that's probably the most timeless fit. It's a standard straight leg. The Strong Guy, which is also, people think it's a little bit wider, is a wider fit, but it's still in the realm of normal when you look at things historically. And then lastly, if you really do want some taper and you don't like straight fits at all, then I'd say go for the Weird Guy. That's a pretty standard fit. All right, number 3, this is a big one, and it's footwear. So I always think that if you're over the age of 25, you should be wearing proper shoes. And what do I mean by proper shoes? I mean proper leather shoes. For some reason I don't know, maybe it was the 80s or something, sports shoes kind of became like the standard shoe for everyday wear. I'm guessing maybe because they're cheap to make, they're comfortable, and they're functional. However, when it comes to looking good, dressing up, having a sports shoe, I think, can kind of ruin a lot of outfits unless you're very careful. I still think that sports shoes are necessary. Don't get me wrong. I do have pairs. If you're doing a sport or an activity that requires a shoe for that, like going on bike trips or long walks, hikes, trips to the beach, working, if you have a job where you're standing long hours, you may not want to be wearing a stiffer, more formal leather shoe. You need something comfortable. I get that. But for anything else, I think having a nice leather shoe, whether it be a loafer, a lace-up shoe, a boot, is going to look a lot nicer. And I can tell you that having one outfit with like a New Balance, and then you pair it with a derby, it completely changes the entire outfit and looks a lot better when you have a proper shoe. All right, up next is accessories. So accessories can be an interesting thing because, of course, they can add a lot to your outfit and make it kind of personalized and unique. Yet, I think you also have to be really careful with your accessories, and you kind of want to go for the less is more mentality. Because if you wear too much accessories or they're too loud and flashy, it can kind of give off like a bling look or be a little bit tacky. So I always say, be conservative with the accessories, less is more, and choose them very carefully to kind of represent you and your style. One thing I didn't learn when I was younger is that the size of your accessories is also very important. So if you're someone who's really large, you're a really tall guy or just a big hefty guy, you might want to be careful that you're not wearing a small little dainty watch, because a small watch is going to accentuate that bigness and it's just going to look goofy. Same goes if you're a smaller guy. If you're wearing a giant wristwatch, it's going to make your wrists look puny. It's going to make you look small in general. So everything's kind of relative. You want to be careful with the size and just careful about like how flashy your accessories are. Lastly, I will count this as an accessory, but I think scent is very important. Find a good quality scent that matches your identity. Wear it consistently so that people associate that scent with you. And no, body wash does not count as a scent. Go buy a proper perfume. All right, so last, you followed all the steps, but you're not quite sure what to wear. So I found out this trick a while ago, and I found that it served me well and helps inspire you if you're not quite sure what you want to wear. And that's to find a style icon. So someone that you like that is known to be well-dressed. Generally, I look for people who are like more classic or like from previous eras. Someone that you really like, that you think they look great. But I also think it's important to find someone that kind of looks like you. So find someone who's maybe roughly your dimensions and roughly looks like you. And then you can kind of look at photographs of them or videos of them, see what they're wearing, see how they're styling it, see what the proportions are, see how it fits them. And then you can either kind of copy it and not reinvent the wheel, or you don't necessarily have to copy. You can just kind of take inspiration, take bits and pieces and kind of reimagine it on your own terms. Get inspired, essentially. You don't have to necessarily copy pieces or copy the pieces one to one, because that's not necessarily going to guarantee success. Like, I know there's a lot of guys who are really into James Bond 007, and they will go out and buy like each individual. They'll buy the James Bond watch, they buy the James Bond pants, they buy the James Bond shirt, and they wear the fit one to one. But again, you're not necessarily James Bond. You might not have his body or his dimensions or his overall look. So just keep that in mind so that when you're looking for things, you kind of tailor it to yourself while taking inspiration from these people. So that's going to be it for these tips. I hope that helps you guys. I really wish that I could go back in time and tell myself all of these in my early 20s, because it would have helped out a lot. If you have other tips, let me know down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear. Back to you, Terry.
Hello, friends. Welcome back here to the warehouse. So I hope you enjoyed Garrett's little bit of advice there, little moments of self-reflection and sharing of wisdom. But yeah, now it's time for the end of the video. This is the spot where I will talk about the word of the week. That special word, if you put in the comment section of your order, you can be eligible to win a little prize from us. Hey, and if you don't get that prize, no worries. You always get extra stickers, kind words of love, and get to feel part of our wonderful denim community. Last week's word was bowline, which is like maybe the best knot in the world. It's not super relevant yet, but I promise you in a future video, that'll make a lot more sense, and you can kind of circle back to here, and it'll be really, really fun. But thank you very much, everyone who wrote and talked about bowline. Particularly, we have all the way from Cody, Wyoming. Sounds pretty cool. We have Nicholas, and yeah, he also wants to know, what's the deal with the bowline? What's the deal with all these bowlines? So Nicholas, you got a cool pair of the hemp selvage denim, which we just released last week, and yeah, it should be at your place by now. But we're also sending you this cool leftover selvage foundation prototype shirt. So we had a couple of these left over lying around. So yeah, we're gonna hand out a couple more of these before the year is out. So thank you very much, Nicholas, for writing in. And for this week, I have a special word recommended in my own family group chat. Maybe I'll just leave this one for you guys to say out loud. But it's a fun one, perfectly safe, and I do hope you enjoy it. Here is the word of the week for this week. Pretty cool, eh? Pretty cool. It's pretty fun, though. It's an old word. Anyway, that's it for the whole video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, be kind to each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.